Hello everyone, this is Vincenzo and welcome to a new episode of Bongcloud versus bots. In this episode we are going to play the first advanced bot, which is Antonio, who's rated 1500, and we are going to see if we can beat advanced bots with this infamous opening. So, Antonio is from Paraguay and he prides himself on being a balanced player. He doesn't win every game, but don't expect to beat him without a fight. Okay, I've recently made a video, an episode of All Pawns First against Antonio, so feel free to check it out. And yeah, let's see if we can beat Antonio. Okay, we play as random, challenge mode. Let's play. Okay, guys, before we start the game, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing because we are so close to 400 subs. So I really appreciate if you subscribe and we reach that goal, because once we reach 400 subs, I'm going to show you the first game I played, actually yesterday, against a title player. So that will be a good video, so subscribe if you want to see it. Thanks in advance. Okay, we play the Bongcloud, so let's start with e4, e5, and now we go king e2. Okay, and here black already strikes in the center. Now we have already saw this move, so I don't know if I want to take. The last time, if I'm not mistaken, I played this, but I think that taking is the best move. Now what do we do here? Probably just developing, right? Maybe the knight here. Oh, wait a second. No, not developing like this, because we don't want to allow mating one. So probably this knight is better, covering all these important squares around the king. Okay, and now we can move the knight. Probably, yeah, why not? Attack the pawn. And here I think we can already strike in the center with this move. Now, okay. As you can see, this square is defended twice, so let's take with the queen and see what... Okay, Antonio wants a queen trade, so we are happy because bots are not very good in endgames. Okay, now do we go here with this idea, or we just take the light square bishop and create a weakness in black's position? Antonio won't blunder this move, so I guess we just take. Also, we have the bishop pair now against the knight pair, I suppose. Okay, now let's move our last pieces out. Maybe here. Do we want to trade everything? Probably. Okay, now have this idea of going here because the knight is defending. But then we can take, and if the knight takes, we can play this move. But of course, if we go okay, if we go here, you can just take and then move the knight. So that's not a good move. Probably rook d1 is better because we stop castling. Okay, now let's take with the king so that we can bring our bishop out. Okay, now this pawn is under attack. We check, so probably we defend it, right? And now there is this move. Okay, let's kick the knight out. Okay, the knight goes to c6, and now we can start developing our final pieces. Okay, we could take the knight for the bishop, because in this way we give black another weakness, and now look at these pawns. So I guess we take, and now we double up on the d file. Okay, black wants to get active, but I think we stopped that. Okay, check. Now we could take the knight, but that only helps black, because then the pawns will be very nice, unless he takes with the e pawn, which will be very bad. But let's see, I could take and then strike immediately to open the file again. That's also an idea. So probably just going here or here to avoid checks. But I'm going to take and strike in the center with the c pawn. And let's see. Okay, interesting, because he also strikes with the c pawn. So do we take it and allow? If we take b takes c5, then this check is annoying, so I guess I'm going to take here. Okay, and now I can take, or do we throw in this check? But then the king blockades the pawn. Maybe I want to take this pawn first. I mean, I want to take this pawn rather than pushing. So let's take, because now it is not check, and now we take this pawn too. Okay, check, no problem. I want my king active, but I guess it is safer to go to e2, to its original Bongcloud square. Okay, now this pawn could become a queen, so I guess we defend the pawn. Okay, another check. This time I'm going to block with the rook. Okay, and now there is this move, discover check, but after king takes doesn't seem very useful. So do we just take, and we are a pawn up? Okay, let's see. We take, after take we go here, defend our pawn and attack the other pawn. So probably, but this game is looking drawish, to be honest. So there is no point of retreating, and if I move here I lose a pawn. So let's go here. Yeah, another check. Let's go here now, and now if check I can play this move. Okay, check. I don't really want to take. So I'm going here maybe. Should I take? But if I take, it start to look scary. So I don't really want to take. Do I take? Okay, let's take, because if I don't see a way of... Wait, then let's see. If I go here, check again, I go back, we should be safe. So let's go here. Okay, this move prepares a check, but why didn't Antonio check me here? So let's take this pawn. Okay, now I don't think we can save this pawn. We could go here, but then after takes, what's the point? So maybe we attack the rook. No, because takes. Okay, maybe we push the pawn with discover check, and after takes we go here, threatening this pawn. Could be an idea. But this game, yeah, we are 2 pawns up, but we're going to lose our e pawn. So looks kind of drawish, to be honest. Well, let's stay active and go here. Now this check doesn't look like a good move, because now I can attack the rook and I'm going to win the g pawn. Instead, if I go here, he can just defend the pawn. So now I'm going to attack the rook and win the g pawn with check. Now we want to take the h pawn and be up 3 pawns, which will be connected, so that should be a win. Now let's go here. Okay, this is annoying, because now there is not this move. Maybe we just go here, but no, I don't want to lose a pawn. I want to win this pawn without losing one of my pawns. So do we just give a check? And now we go maybe here, and if check, we start to get in. Okay, now we get in. Okay, this is an annoying move, but we should be fine. If we go here, of course, there is rook takes, we check, we take, they take, and this is a draw. Rook and pawn versus rook should be a draw. Maybe Antonio will blunder, but okay, maybe we stop. Let's see, if we go here, take, and the king goes here, and we should get in and win the game. So let's trade. Okay, he doesn't want to trade, but now we finally get in. And now I don't want to take, because a rook takes again. Although then I block with the pawn and we start pushing pawns, it should be winning. But let's just defend. This looks passive. Now I want to take with the king to keep my pawns connected. Okay, now let's defend the pawn with the king. Let's cut the blocking off, and now we should be winning easily. As you can see, the king can move but cannot cross the e file, so we can just push one of our pawns. Okay, now we lift the king. If this move, we just bring the other pawn. Okay, let's do it anyway. As you can see here, Antonio could be trying. If you are in this position as black, of course it is a lost position, but you should be trying like moving the rook around, because if you just move the king around, it's like resigning, so don't do that. Okay, we go here, and now Antonio starts to get a little active, but there is no problem. We can just lift this pawn, and if rook takes, we promote. So let's go here, and now we promote. This is funny because if you promote to a queen, the bot will instantly take it, obviously. But if you promote to a minor piece, sometimes they don't. So it is kinda funny. Let's go here, cut the king off even more. Let's go here, and now we should deliver ladder mate. Okay, we go here, and now this move is the only move. Yeah, because the bot just won't resign. So we give a check, very instructive. The rook blocks, and now of course we could take, and after takes we bring the king, promote, or deliver a rook mate. But there is also this move, we give another check, and now we can win the piece. Okay. Okay. Let's try to deliver a ladder mate again. Okay, that's good. Check, and now this is checkmate. Okay, very nice game. 69 moves, because Antonio is a pretty solid bot. So if you want to beat Antonio, you can try to play like I did, which was basically trading every piece, go to an endgame, and these bots, intermediate bots, will start blundering in the endgame. So probably not the best way to win, because if you keep your pieces on the board, you can play in a tactical way, you know. But if you trade everything, you have to be patient and playing good moves until the bot blunders or you outplay the bot. So it's just another way of playing. And I've beaten a lot of bots in this way by just trading most of my pieces, going to an endgame, and then just outplaying the bot in the endgame. Although here the engine is showing 3 blunders, which is bad because every time we had an advantage, I then blundered an equal position. You see here, plus almost 3, then 0.0, and here plus 5, and then 0.0, but the bot blundered again, and then it was simply winning. Okay, let's check the analysis. e4, e5, king e2 is a mistake. Now taking was best. Okay, I remember this from the last episode. Knight c3 was best again. Okay, now this weird looking move, queen e1, which no human will play, in my opinion. Now striking in the center was best, and trading queens was also best for us. Taking the bishop, as I said, this is like a positional move. If you can win a bishop for knight in an open position and you can give your opponent a weakness, do it. Now this was an inaccuracy. This was also an inaccuracy. Okay, now kicking the... yeah, this move is weird because kicking the knight away, allowing the knight to take a pawn with check. Although if here a knight takes with check, I think the knight is trapped, because you go here king d3 and the knight has no squares to go to and cannot capture anything. So yeah, it's a great move. So I should have allowed it, and probably Antonio would have blundered. Instead I defended the pawn, which was an inaccuracy, because the pawns wasn't really hanging. So now I kick the knight, I develop the bishop. Again, we take a piece. This time we take a knight for a bishop, but we give our opponent a weakness. We double on the d file. Oh, and this was a blunder. Yeah, probably it was overextending, because black can play around this pawn. Instead, if we went b3, it was just safer. Okay, now check, we take, and we strike. Okay, I'm happy to see that this was the best idea. Now this was a blunder, but I thought that it was a really nice move, to be honest, and we should have taken. But I didn't want to lose my a pawn with check, so instead I took this, which was a blunder. And here, yeah, we take, and this is a draw. We are up pawn in a rook endgame, but it's just a draw. Okay, this was the best move. Check, we lift the rook. Taking was best. Okay, I see the point of this move. You lose a pawn with tempo, but you start winning a pawn and you have the pawn majority. Although you have to be careful, because black can put a rook behind this pawn and start pushing. So be always careful. Check, here was the best square, and here it was also best, which is nice because now we start advancing our pawns, in this case the f pawn, and our king is safer and active. Okay, this check was an annoying move, and the engine says that we should just take it. I didn't want to. Now this was a blunder, probably because it blunders the b pawn. Yeah, and now we are 2 pawns up. So, oh, okay, this was the move. This was the best move. And this was a blunder. You see, these rook and games are not very easy. You have to take your time to calculate. Probably this move is bad because it's very passive. Instead, and black can just go here, and what are we doing next? Instead, if you go here, you attack this pawn. Black can play this move, but you can just move, attack the rook, and then you're going to win the h pawn anyway. And now this was a blunder, luckily, because a stronger bot would have played the best move, and this game would have been a draw. Because we went here, yeah, as I said, you don't step forward, because then black can just defend. Instead you step backwards, but you're going to win this pawn because it is a tempo on the rook. The rook moved, we win the pawn with check, we put our rook to a defended square, g5. Now this move, yeah, it was a move. Okay, and now we finally step in. Yeah. Okay, and this is very easy. Just don't blunder your pawns, keep advancing them. It is very easy when you have 3 connected passed pawns against a rook. Sometimes even if you don't have a rook and the opponent's king is far off, you can win with 3 connected pawns against a rook. But it is of course harder to do. Okay, now we cut the king off. We give a check. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was a nice move, because now we are threatening mate on the other side of the board. Black should have played this move then. Okay, yeah, and going here. Okay, yeah, this was the long way to deliver mate, to be honest, because I could have gone here and then the king would have moved and I would have delivered mate. Instead, we took the rook, we cut the king off again, and then we deliver a simple ladder mate. Okay, this game was sometimes it was easy, but it shows you that you have to take your time, which is one of my flaws in chess, because sometimes I just play a move, I don't take time, and I could have blundered all my advantage. So yeah, luckily we won. If you are having trouble with advanced bots like Antonio or 1600 rated bots, consider taking them to an endgame and then simply outplaying them, either by playing the best moves or by waiting for them to blunder and then simply winning. So this was Bongcloud versus Antonio. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider again subscribing to the channel, because I would really appreciate to get to 400 subs. And yeah, see you in the next video.